What's going on, everyone? My name is Liam DeBoer. I'm here with ET Transport, and today we're going to take a deep dive into the Chinese trucking market. Over the course of this video, we'll take a look at how the nation's market operates, how the trade wars between America and China affect Chinese drivers, and the country's competitor to Tesla, Geely. Don't forget to subscribe in order to keep up to date with the world of trucking, and let's get into it. Despite China embracing ride-sharing and delivery drones while building vast networks of airports and high-speed rail, it still depends on long-haul trucks to carry 80% of its cargo. Travel to the edge of any city and you'll eventually find a parking lot full of idling trucks. In bigger cities, such as Shanghai, these lots can be as large as 10 acres and lead to paralyzing traffic jams once they reach their capacity. Despite the push for cleaner transportation, with China's trucking industry having an estimated value of $750 billion, it's safe to say it's not going away anytime soon. Instead, technology is just transforming it. Just earlier this week, China's two largest apps for delivering Uber-like services for truckers and cargo owners agreed to merge. The hopeful outcome of this $2 billion deal is to reduce delays, cut down on pollution, and improve life for the country's 30 million truck drivers. Many in China even believe this is a first step in creating a revolutionary new transportation system. However, there are few industries as lucrative as trucking that remain as fragmented and untouched by technology as the Chinese trucking business, which is surprising seeing as everyday social acceptance has been hijacked by technology in China with their social credit score system. The reason the trucking industry lags in tech implementation is because in the earliest years of China's economic transformation, the government decided to disband state-owned trucking monopolies. Once the state's stranglehold on the economy was eased, a move that has long since been forgotten, millions of entrepreneurs bought trucks and hit the road. By the year 2012, there were 9 million trucking companies in China, 6 million of which only owned one truck. In the present day, independent owner-operators are behind roughly 90% of all commercial trucks on Chinese highways. However, the ever-looming issue for these drivers is finding cargo to haul. Usually these independents affiliate themselves with a larger company in frequent freight markets where jobs are posted on chalkboards by small-time brokers. The process for a driver in China to get a freight can be a laborious one. Finding a haul in their area at a profitable rate can take hours and hours due to a competitive market and painful negotiations with these brokers. Even if these drivers get a job, they must still maneuver their way through China's notoriously bad traffic to pick up the freight, spending hours waiting for it to be loaded and then hitting the road again. These inefficiencies hit the drivers' wallets. As we all know, a truck that isn't hauling cargo is losing money, and China's trucks spend a great deal of time sitting idle. By one state estimate, the average driver's truck sits empty 40% of the time. The nation's largest Uber for trucking company, Truck Alliance Inc., says that its dispatch app saved more than $9 billion in fuel costs in 2016 and prevented more than 33 million tons of carbon emissions. Although perhaps the biggest cost of all is at an economic level. Seeing as China's trucking sector is extremely fragmented, combined with their expensive toll roads, the state decided to devote an immense 14.9% of its gross domestic product back into logistics costs in 2016. To put that in perspective, the US spends almost exactly half of that on logistics costs, spending just 7.5% of its GDP. Improving those figures is a top priority for China's government, and this merger resulting in an Uber-style freight system is at the heart of that strategy. As of July, Truck Alliance Inc. was working with 4.5 million registered vehicles and 880,000 cargo owners. So it seems safe to say that the market is on board, but then again, in China, the market has to walk lock and step in line with the CCP's goals, so how much of this can just be chalked up to free market is highly debatable. This merger also advances a much further reaching goal, the development of a, quote, Internet of Vehicles. The idea is for every vehicle on China's roads to report its location and in turn receive data related to other vehicles in its location, thereby reducing congestion, improving safety, and streamlining supply chains. It's a crucial, centrally planned step in the development of self-driving cars, and this plan won't work if China's highways are jammed with millions of independent truckers following chalkboard dispatching systems. While this app solves a great deal of that problem, it creates a company with the scale to rationalize the inefficient and chaotic Chinese trucking industry. This also gives the CCP a large computerized dispatching agency that can be integrated into its broader plans. Those broader plans are what many drivers in the West fear is inevitable: trucking automation. This is where we pick up on Tesla's rival Chinese company, Geely. By the year 2024, the company's hopes to release the Homtruck, and according to the CEO of the international marketing division of Geely, Mike Fan, wants to see this truck on international roads, stating, quote, "This product is designed and developed facing the global market," and later went on to state that the company is targeting Europe, Korea, Japan, and North America with its new vehicle. Now, China plans on having all these trucks driverless by the year 2030, and having these vehicle routes being programmed by the state, which makes me feel like adopting a truck of this nature on an international level could be potentially a national security risk. For instance, think about what we're seeing right now. The minute war breaks out, countries try to economically ruin one another with sanctions and other strategies of the sorts. It's not entirely out of the question to think that if one superpower was to declare war on another while using trucks of this nature, that a foreign country could push the remote control off button on an entire trucking fleet, which would almost certainly cause an instantaneous surrender. Now, I'm not saying that's a one-way street. It's not like America wouldn't also use a tactic of this sort. However, China seems to be trying to get away from American technology, while in the West, we are increasingly adopting theirs. Just some food for thought, but let's see what Geely and their Homtruck is all about.
While the company planning for production and rollout in 2024. Interesting interior as well. It's got a living space for the driver, a shower, a small bed, a mini kitchen as well. The idea is that on these long journeys, drivers may be taking rest and they want a comfortable environment. So that's certainly where Geely sees the future of the semi-market at this point as well. And they're hoping that this is a vehicle that can go global.
Based in China, overseas markets are a significant part Geely is eyeing for. We will introduce different products to different markets and use different resources to meet different demands.
Now, I'm sure anyone watching this video has felt the effects of trade wars, whether it's your paycheck or the continuously rising cost of goods. But on the other end of this economic warfare is everyday Chinese citizens and entrepreneurs, facing the exact same hardships. In 2017, nearly half of China's exports were being shipped out of Hong Kong into the US. However, with these rising tensions, the logistics sector of China is taking a massive hit, and the local drivers are feeling the effects.
貿易戰最主要咧就係佢美國方面咧就加咗關稅，令到咧廠家訂單少咗咁導致到我哋咧拉貨少咗咯，從來未試過嘅。以前咧即係話經濟差都唔會好似依家咁惡劣，因為之前咧就每一個禮拜咧6日咧做足6日嘅單頭車嘅賣車，有啲係公司有車多嘅都要賣車，所以依家個賣更加唔值錢啦。咁我做咁多年咧，可唔可以你想話叫我轉工咧？我轉嚟轉去都係揸車，唯一就望明天都會揸。
Well, that's all for me, folks. We'd love to hear your thoughts. How have the trade wars affected you or your business? Also, do you think Geely can stand up to Tesla in the international market? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, check out more like them on our channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with new content. We'll catch you next time.